Guys, welcome to our week 8 video lesson. We're going to go ahead and jump in with your technique activities for this week. So you have the B major and B harmonic minor scales on page 95 with the arpeggios. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys do the major scale on your own. You're really familiar with the major scales by this point, and these have pretty straightforward finger patterns. So go ahead and try your B major scale and your B major arpeggio. We learned this last year, so it should be fairly straightforward to do that one. And then I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate our B harmonic minor scale. Also, we have a guest at the piano bench today. We have Big Kitty right there and Little Kitty right there. Happy class today. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate our B harmonic minor scale. So for this one, our key signature is now just C sharps and F sharps, and then we're also going to add A sharp, and that A sharp is going to come in with our fourth finger in the right hand, second finger in the left hand. And this is an awkward spot right here, is the F sharp, G, A sharp. This is a really weird because you've got a big space between fingers 3 and 4 and a really little space between 2 and 3. So be really careful in that spot. Maybe just give that a couple of tries, just kind of playing and getting your thumb under there because it's just a little bit on the strange side. The same thing with your left hand. It'll be 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2. It feels significantly less awkward in the left hand, but that right hand part, just something to keep in mind. That's going to be a slightly awkward hand position there, so you might want to give that a try a few times. So let's go ahead and try right hand alone to start with. Here we go. 1, 2 sharp, 3 thumb under, 2 sharp, 3, 4 sharp, thumb under, 2 sharp, 3 thumb under, 2 sharp, 3, 4 sharp, 5, 5, 4 sharp, 3, 2 sharp, 1, 3 over, 2 sharp, 1, 4 sharp over, 3, 2 sharp, 1, 3 over, 2 sharp, 1. Then the left hand, we start on finger 4. Ready, go. 4, 3 sharp, 2, 1, 4 sharp over, 3, 2 sharp, 1, 3 sharp over, 2, 1, 4 sharp over, 3, 2 sharp, 1, 1, 2 sharp, 3, 4 sharp, 1 under 2, 3 sharp, thumb under, 2 sharp, 3, 4 sharp, thumb under 2, 3 sharp, 4. So then for our right hand arpeggio is the exact same as the major. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 5, and hold. 5. 5, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Left hand is 5, 4, 2 here. Ready, go. 5, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 5. Beautiful job. And then we also have our triads and inversions on the bottom of page 28, number 5, ones that go like this. And then go back down, and you're going to do that in B major and B minor. I'm going to let you practice that one on your own. We've done that in like all of our other keys now, so I think you should be good to go with practicing that one. So those will be your 2 technique activities for this week, and then we'll go ahead and jump in with our assignments for today. So we're going to be looking at page 92 and 93 has our 5 types of 7th chords. And so for next week, this is going to be one of the assignments that you will have, your technique assignment for week 9, and the 10-week exam is going to be continuing playing these 5 types of 7th chord progressions. So we're going to go through these really, really quickly. So looking at page 92, we have, when we build starting on C, we have a major triad, and then we build a major 7th. So a major 7th interval is on the outside. That's a major 7th chord. Then when we build a major triad with a minor 7th interval on the outside, that's our dominant 7th chord. chord, also known as a major minor 7th chord, but usually we just call that our dominant 7th chord. Then when we build a minor triad, and then we have that minor 7th on the outside, that's a minor 7th chord. And then when we have a diminished triad and a minor 7th, that's a half diminished 7th chord. And then when we have a diminished triad and then a diminished 7th, so that would be our B double flat on top. That's a fully diminished 7th chord. So that's, I think, the easiest way to think about it is the quality of the triad and then the quality of the 7th on the outside. The other thing you can think of is the pattern of major and minor thirds. So I have for my major 7th chord, I have a major third, minor third, major third. For my dominant 7th chord, I have a major third, minor third, minor third. For my minor 7th chord, I have a minor third, major third, minor third. For my half diminished, I have a minor third, major third. Then for my fully diminished, I have minor third, minor third, minor third. All minor thirds for that last one. So just something to think about, whichever way sort of makes the most sense to you. I do think that the easiest way to think about it is sort of the root triad and then the 7th that's on the outside. So then on page 93, you can work through playing 7th chord inversions. So they're showing you here the 7th chord inversions with the pop chord symbols listed above where we have the triad and then the root note behind the slash there. So you can play through like your F major 7th chord and then invert it so that A is on the bottom. And then C on the bottom, second inversion, and then third inversion. Then you can take a G dominant 7th chord and do the same thing. Root position, first inversion, second inversion, third inversion. Then they give you the D minor 7th chord is the example of the minor 7th. The B half diminished 7th chord, when it's written as a pop chord symbol, it has a flat 5 to indicate that it's a half diminished. And then they have the E fully diminished 7th chord for you to practice doing the inversions of the fully diminished 7ths. The fully diminished one is, I think, kind of the trickiest one because your fingers are a little bit cramped. So go ahead and play through the 5 types of 7th chords exercise on 92. You'll have to play through that in a couple of different keys for your technique activities in the coming weeks. And then go ahead and try the 7th chord inversions on page 93. So then we'll go ahead and take a look at, they also have page 94, playing 7th chords built on the triads of the keys. So going up. So now you're a jazz musician. This is actually a really cute one to play. Just an octave in the bass. So with just that simple progression and some jumpy bass notes, you sound like you're a jazz pro. So not a jazz pro, because jazz pros actually know what they're doing. But you can try that going up on the major chords, trying it in different keys, and then going up on the minors as well. So we'll now go ahead and take a look over at our solo rep on 96 and 97, which is 7th Street Blues. So as you can guess, we'll have a fair amount of 7ths. So one thing that I would go through and just make sure that you have already done, which we should have gone through in class, is marking your accidentals in this one, because that's kind of one of the trickier things to pay attention to over here. Is there's quite a few accidentals in this song. Another thing that you could go through and do is label the different types of 7th chords that you can see in this. That would take a little bit longer, but could be kind of a good music theory activity to try. So we're going to go ahead and go through and play just the left hand alone. And I'll kind of call out the motions of the left hand, some of the chords that we have, and some of the finger numbers as well. So in the beginning here, we're doing these thirds, stepping up, and we're staying on 1, 3, 1, 3 the whole time. So we're not worrying about kind of going, we're not worrying about any of that. We're just staying on the same finger number. So here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 3, 1, 3, jump, 1, 3, jump, 1, 3, thumb goes down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 and 3, 3, 4, C and G, step down, step back up, step back down, step back up, leap down a fifth, step down, skip up, back to C, step down, step down, step down, step down, and hold. C, step down, C, up to F chord, 2, 3, 4, F minor, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, 4, E minor, E flat minor, down to D minor, 2, 3, 4, D flat major, 3, 4, C major, 3, 4, F major, 2, 4, C, step down, C, step down, C, down a fifth, down a step, up a third to C, step down, step down, step down, step down, and hold, back to C, step down, C, C, skip, down, fourth, down, step, down, step, down, step, down, step, down, up to E and C together. Beautiful job. Now we'll go ahead and try the right hand alone, saying some of the finger numbers and other motions of the right hand out loud. So we start on a B and a G with 1 and 3. We do the same thing, stepping up on 1 and 3. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 3, 2. Jump up. 3, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. 1, jump 5, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Careful right there. 3, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 1. 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. 3, 3, 3, 5, 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, flat 1. Jump to 3, 2, 3, 2, flat 1, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, cross 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 5 and 2 sharp, jump up, 3, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 1, jump, 5, 5, 4, flat 3, 2, 1, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 1, 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. Octaves, 1, 5, 5, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1, 5, 5, 4, 3, 4, 3, 1, and 3 together. Beautiful. And then here is this one with both hands together. Again, solo rep, you don't have to worry about playing complete until the exam. So take your time practicing hands separately, marking your music, and going through all of the practice steps. So here we go from the beginning. Also, it says to not swing the eighth notes. I think it sounds pretty nice to swing the eighth notes, so you can totally do that if you want to. 1, 2, ready, go. Oh, isn't that lovely? This chord is really nice. Wonderful. So again, you'll have the option to choose that as your solo rep for the exam. I think that song sounds like the scene change music in like Newsies or something. You know, like somebody gets done singing, they're just like, I just want to do something and live my dreams in the big city. And then he's like walking up, or it's like she just doesn't like me. What am I gonna do? And then he's like walking away, you know, and they're like changing the scene. And the people come out and they start changing the furniture around. He's like walking off, he's like sitting in the corner. You know what I'm talking about, right? It sounds like that. Anyways, so go ahead and continue practicing that one, and then we'll look at what we have next. All right, so we're gonna turn over to 98 and 99. And we have 3 reading exercises. None of them have transposition, so I'm just going to go through and demonstrate all 3 of these. And what I want you to do for practice is to go through and play each hand separately a few times until you feel comfortable with that, and then you try it both hands together. And I'll just go ahead and demonstrate all 3 hands together so that you can choose which one you would like to do. So here we have number 1. And then here's number 2. And then here is number 3. Wonderful. So for number 1, especially, be really careful with the accidentals. Getting all of the F sharps and C sharps, and then we also have that additional D sharp, is a little bit tricky. Number 2 is not super tricky, and number 3 is not so bad because there's no black keys in that one, no accidentals. So just something to keep in mind. And then we're going to go ahead and take a look at the harmonizations. So for the harmonizations, you actually do not have to do transposition for this one this week. If you want to do the Rage Over a Lost Penny on 99, the Rondo a Capriccio, which is from Rage Over a Lost Penny, to the transposition to F major, you are more than welcome to do that. As you can see, you might not want to because it's a little bit tricky, but if you want to challenge yourself, absolutely go for it. And then we have the 2 on the other page where we also have the pop chord symbols written in with some 7th chords. So you definitely want to go ahead and make sure that you are looking at that and looking at the quality of all of them. So remembering how to do what it means if it says the major, the M7, you know, just all of those things, making sure that you feel comfortable with the 7th chord abbreviations and which type of 7th chord that is referring to. So let's go ahead and give a try on Rage Over the Lost Penny. So again, I'll just go ahead and demonstrate all of these for you since there's no transposition for each one. And I won't demonstrate the transposition on Rondo a Capriccio because that's just optional for this. We don't have to do that. 1, 2, ready, go. G, D7 over F, G, D7 over F, G, E minor, B7 over D sharp, back to E minor, to number 2, and number 3. And these are a little bit more, we have the very classical one with the Beethoven, and these have a little bit more jazzy 7th chords going on here. So here we have number 1, and I will call out the chord names. So keep in mind our 2 flats in our key signature here. 1, ready, go. C minor 7, C fully diminished 7, B flat major 7, G7 over B, C minor 7, F7 over C, E major 7. Great, and then here we have the next one. 1 and 2, ready, go. G major 7, E minor 7, A minor 7, D dominant 7, G major 7, E minor 7, A minor 7 over C, D7, G major 7. Great. So then on page 101, you have 2 improvisation from chord symbols activities that you can do. So you will basically play the chord progression that they have listed, and you're going to do it in the broken chord accompaniment pattern or the blocked chord accompaniment pattern that they suggest. And then you are going to either compose or improvise a melody. You can kind of do a hybrid of both, sort of write in some things and then kind of play around with what you like best. And then ultimately write in whatever melody you come up with in the blank staff provided and play it together with both hands. And you could do one or both of them, maybe choose which one you would like to do as a little bit of a creative practice activity. So then we will go ahead and take a look at page 102. We have our E flat alto saxophone parts. So these also transpose a major 6th below the written note, which means that we can use our little tip of basically reading it like it's bass clef. You choosing the correct key signature and then transposing it down an octave. So it really is super, super simple to do it that way if you kind of think through that process. So if you look at number 1, it's originally written in C, so that's going to mean that we're going to be transposing right to E flat. So we're going to add our 3 flats to our key signature. If our starting note looks like G, then it's going to be B flat is where we're going to start. And again, we're going to read it just like it's bass clef, and that makes it super simple. And then we are going to make sure that we are playing 1 octave up. So if we're not going to play it on the notes as they're written, like if it was bass clef, we're going to play it 1 octave up from there. So another thing to just be careful for are the sharps that we have in here, and sort of considering, is that going to become a natural or is it going to remain a sharp? So if we have from the 2nd line in measure 7, the F sharp is going to stay a sharp, but the A sharp is going to become an A natural. And then we have on measure 9, that's going to be our B natural. So just something to keep in mind is, again, what happens to our sharps and naturals when we're changing our key signature. So let's go ahead and give this one a try from the very beginning. Ready, go. Jump. Jump up. Be careful here. So these are really not bad when you use those techniques of just kind of reading it like it's bass clef, transposing up an octave and adding your key signature. The next one we're going to be doing is habanera, another bizet. So we'll start this one. If it looks like it's an A right here, we're going to be transposing down a 6 to C. We're going to be really careful with our sharps and flats here, and just thinking carefully about where those are going to become naturals or flats depending on our key signature, which is going to be 3 flats for this one. So let's go ahead and give this one a try. Ready, go. Great. And that one is really not too bad either, although we have some of those additional flats, sharps, and naturals written in. If you really just think about if it looks like it's moving down half steps, making sure that you're moving down half steps, it's really not so bad. So the next thing that we're going to look at will be our choral score exercises here, and both of these are for tenor and bass. So the tenor part will transpose down 1 octave, and then the bass will be played as written. So you'll want to go through and mark any patterns or places if we have unisons or crossings or anything like that, which we don't typically. But you'll go ahead and try just the left hand alone on the bass part, and then just the right hand alone on the tenor part transposed down 1 octave, and then we'll give it a try with both hands together. And I will just demonstrate what it will sound like put all together. 1, ready, go. And repeat. Next line. Repeat. Perfect. And then we'll go ahead and give a try on Who Will Be a Witness, the bottom one. So from the pickup into measure 7, that's in unison right there. And then slips back to unison. And then also the tenor part at the very beginning and the bass part when it comes in are almost exactly the same. They're in the same octave right there. So let's go ahead and give this one try through from the very beginning. 1, 2, ready, go. Bass. Excellent. And so for your assignments this week, you will choose one of those to do for your assignment. So you'll do your technique activities, you'll do one of the 3 sight readings, one of the 3 harmonizations, and then one of the 2 score readings that we have on page 103. So that's what we've got for this week. Happy practicing. Let me know if you have any questions, and see you next time.